Hello, this is the Raven's Librarian with another video of Dawn of War Winter Assault. Today we're going to be finishing off the Order campaign on the side of the Imperial Guard. Because in the last mission it was the branching path part where you get to decide which one of the two factions you want to win, so which one you want to finish the campaign with. And this one, after getting back to the Titan, the engineer crew, the Titan crew, got put to work fixing up the Titan. And now, General Sturn, although he betrayed, quote-unquote, the Eldar, he does take their warning somewhat seriously, so at least in the back of his mind. So, in the point of the text is that, not only is he dealing with the Orks and the Chaos, but he's also gearing up in case he has to run into the other faction that the Eldar warned him of. The Necrons.
Although the golden throne of Terra orbits a distant star, far from here, the Emperor's hand is on your shoulders today. You have fought and displayed bravery and loyalty far and above your calling as Guardsmen. You have faced the full brunt of an Ork war, as well as stared down the horrors of the warp in the fallen Space Marines. And in that, I am honored to have led you. Our task remains, however. There is still work to be done. The Titan is ours, but its machine spirit is injured. The Titan crew is in place, leaving us to defend the Titan while the crew brings its armaments online. For that, we need energy to power the weapon systems. Now go! The fight is far from over!
So this chapter can be pretty rough, especially if you rush ahead and get a lot of draw a lot of attention from the AI.
Plasma generators if we hope to power the Titan. The Chaos Legion and the Orks will be here any minute, and our defenses won't hold. Establish a stronger perimeter near those generator sites. They have to survive.
But there is like a small advantage, which comes if you deliberately. I don't really think slowing down is the solution, but the key to my strategy is just getting as much as possible first. But the key to victory is getting to this spot as soon as possible.
It will only take me a moment.
Objective secure. The objective is ours.
A challenge worthy of my skill. It will only take me a moment.
Objective secure. We're under fire. What
The
now?
Ultramarines, they actually let you use them in this battle, which is very helpful because you're gonna need them.
You called, sir. Take the objective.
The goal for the start is not to draw too much attention,
You
but
called, sir.
at least on normal, you can afford to do so. But you really need to get as much resources as possible
Take me a moment.
for the next part.
It will only take me a moment. This able beast should get us there.
The Emperor's will seethes through my veins. It will take more than a mere mortal to kill me.
The objective is ours.
So I probably should have showed that part, but that was him getting defeated just because he ran into a an Ork commander. This was an Ork camp, and he always winds up getting into a fight with the actual guy there. And the guy just happens to be slightly tougher.
Objective secure. You called, sir. What now?
That Mars Pattern command facility is under heavy assault. Defend it.
Objective
Protect it with your life.
We're under
If we can
fire.
repair it, we can requisition a Baneblade, and all will tremble in its wrath.
Thank the Emperor
So
for
yeah,
your arrival. Between the Orks and the fallen Space Marines, we'd have died. But we'd have died standing.
So yeah, the strategy here is for to get this thing as get them to fix it as fast as possible.
sir.
Dang it.
The call to battle.
The tech priests have done well.
No
Mars
quarter.
Pattern Command Facility is fully repaired. The Bane Blade is on its way.
There we go.
Whatever you want.
And once you've got this guy, it's mostly just a matter of point and clicking and just letting it destroy everything in its path.
All cannons in ready. Fire! Whatever you want.
And
We're ready.
obviously getting everything else out of its way.
Whatever you want. We're ready.
But yeah, like I said,
All cannons in ready.
it's about pointing it in a certain direction so it'll clear up a good chunk of the map. Then once that's done,
Standing by.
We're under fire! 2 arms!
You called, sir.
2 arms! We're under fire! 2 arms! 2 arms!
you're not actually shooting them, so come on.
2 arms!
There we go. AI got stuck there for a moment.
Take the objective.
Oh wait, no.
I shall see to it personally, sir. The call to battle.
About here.
You called, sir.
You don't really
I
need.
shall see to it personally, sir.
Once you've cleared out this zone, you don't have to worry about
We stand ready.
losing this area, since the Baneblade will pretty much destroy that area of the map. But you do
We're under
Will
fire!
only take me a moment.
need to start working on the second part,
The objective is ours. Standing by.
which is moving them into position.
Following orders. You called, sir.
2 arms!
Reporting for duty, sir. For the Emperor. I shall see to it personally, sir.
We're under fire!
You called, sir. I shall see to it personally, sir. You called, sir.
So you just need a couple of bodies to make sure this place sticks.
Whatever you want. We're ready.
See, on harder difficulties you definitely can't do this because the Baneblade is tough, but it's not invincible. But you can't just drop it into the fray and let it
Kill machine spirit for our
take so
safe
much damage.
arrival.
Following orders.
But in this situation, it's not
Standing by.
as defenseless. So
Following orders.
the goal here is
Sir, yes, sir.
get a couple of more
Executing
units.
your orders, sir. Sir, yes, sir.
I need that ready for the backup.
Sir, yes, sir.
It's all about
Take me a moment.
getting ready for that.
Of course.
Standing by. Standing by. The call to battle. You called, sir.
We're under fire!
I'm still not rushing too far ahead because you need to watch out for the part that comes next. I believe it's once you get to a certain number.
Yes, my lord.
Okay, but
Will only take me a moment.
better start making some progress.
A challenge worthy of my skill. A
think it's-
challenge worthy of my skill. Will only take
What you want to be
me a
careful about
moment.
is once you've built a certain number of these
A
things,
challenge worthy of my skill.
the second stage of the fight starts.
You called, sir. Standing by.
Oh, it's a sword. It's a chaos sorcerer. Oh, that's cute. So I just get him out of here before. Come on. Finish the job.
A thermoplasma generator is online and powering the Titan. Good work.
As you command, so shall it.
We're under fire!
Once I've got that thing out of the way. Now, I'm gonna move that here.
As you command, so shall it be.
Move 2 tanks together.
Following orders.
One Bane Blade can do a pretty good job on its own, but also I keep forgetting
Standing ready.
to have Sturn help him out.
Into the fray. Attack!
Commander's tough, but he's not
Continue.
invincible.
The Emperor is
Especially if you keep forcing him to fight on his own. Okay.
We're under fire!
The Bane Blade doing its job. There it is. Right on time.
Will only take me a moment.
And I've got the 2 working together. No, not yet.
Of course.
Not yet.
Will only take me a moment.
So this is where you gotta be careful.
A challenge worthy of my skill. Will only take me a moment.
You've gotta start the construction close,
Worthy of my
each
skill.
one close to the other, because the moment Warp guy is finished. Come on.
Will only take me a moment.
Hopefully this will only be a difference by a few seconds.
A challenge worthy of my skill.
It'll probably take too long, but we'll see how that goes.
Whatever you want, we're ready.
Probably better to put it between it.
Faith is our shield. At your command.
So the main goal is once you've got all... Almost forgot to keep getting these up.
We're under fire!
Yeah. Probably they won't activate in time, but
You called, sir. I shall see to it personally, sir. You called, sir. We're under fire!
just putting them as, keep warm bodies. Doesn't matter if they take the strategic points, all that matters is that
We're under fire!
they don't. There,
Titan sensors are functioning, but they're reporting anomalous signals and unusual xeno-energy readings.
there it comes.
What? So the Eldar was telling the truth.
Ooh, got a Funkin. There it is. The boogeyman of 40k. At least until the Tyranids showed up. God, this was terrifying when I first saw it. Not the pyramid itself, but yeah, like obviously the fact that it just kind of drops this. And then when the map comes back on.
If we're to hold off these vile, heartless Necrons, we will need every man!
The good news is,
Emperor be with us.
so the key is you need to get the generators up and running, like back to back. Because the idea is that you need all 6 of them ready for this.
General,
To turn the
Titan's
tide.
weapons are online.
Because once the Titan is operational, that's when the big guns come to play.
Finally! Now we show these Necrons the might of Terra! Titan gunnery crew, fire on those monoliths and bring them down! All Guardsmen units, drive the Necrons back! Give them hell!
So I'm going to try to show it, but I need to
We're under fire!
I need to quickly start putting targets. So the idea is that you'll get plenty of these things quickly. And the goal is to put targets on each Necron tomb that you can find fast. Order it to take out every Necron that pops up.
We're under under fire!
Ignoring everything else. Letting them deal with the carnage. But once you've got the guns ready, you point them. That's the trick. It's getting the Titan. Now that you've got the Titan, you've got a gun to fight back with. You'll actually see it there.
Well done! So falls a monolith!
And you just gotta keep doing that. Because the key is the monolith. As long as that thing's the monoliths are on board. The Necrons, these slow bastards. Once they get to you, they come in hard. But the solution is just... The solution is this thing. As long as these things are firing at them, they will get destroyed.
We're under fire! We're under fire! We're under fire!
I shall continue to fight!
Yeah, they're gonna... And
Keep the pace, men! Another monolith brought to ruin!
now the good news is, you know, both... In fact, the Necrons aren't just targeting us, they're going after everybody. The Necrons just showed up and decided today was the day they were gonna kill everybody. I want to actually show, at least show one.
Keep the pace, man! Another monolith brought to ruin!
That's the key. As long as you can get one good shot in, you can turn the tide of the fight.
We're under fire!
Actually, and you need that because otherwise you don't have many weapons that can do damage to it, and you're overwhelmed. Especially because the assumption is you've taken a lot of losses holding off against
another monolith destroyed.
Every other faction, as in the Orks and the Chaos. The fact that you've been fighting back against both of them. So by the time these guys show up, you know, you're still holding on, but you're struggling. That might be another Necron on his way. I think that means this thing's not at range yet. I don't think this one can actually shoot at it. So the Necrons, at least in gameplay terms, they you know, they're sort of like their advantage, and then comes with they get a disadvantage. So their units these are their basic units. You can tell they're very slow. You know, take a long time to get somewhere. But the drawback, the way they make up for that, is that they're very powerful. Once they get to you, you know, they'll deal a lot of damage. And they're very hard to kill, even, you know, despite...
We stand ready. Moving out.
I think the Necron tombstone.
We're under fire!
I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is the...
We are the Emperor's chosen.
So they're slow, but they take hits very, very well.
Maintain attack formation.
And for the sake of this fight, they have a sort of plot arm, not plot. They have resilience, so you can take them out, but they can't get back up.
We're under fire!
So you have to try and take them out. Okay, so either I'm not pressing the right button or this thing can't get into range. There we go. Uh-oh.
Standing by. Attack!
Alright, you can try to finish it off. You always gotta watch out because it always survives the first hit.
Another monolith destroyed!
And you can see these guys are still fighting. But that's the end of that.
The Titan's excavation crew is landing along with reinforcements. If I were a suspicious man, I'd call
Which
their
you are.
timing too good.
I told them to hold off until we bested the Necrons. There was no more into the slaughter without the Titan's weapons operational.
Now it comes
Indeed,
back.
it is a day to be proud, General. Your men perform better than any Guardsman unit I've encountered.
Thank you, but our work is not yet done. There are still pockets of Ork resistance across Lorne 5. We must protect the repair crews while they nurse the Titan back to health.
Still, it was an honor to fight.
Yeah, because that Titan
alongside
wasn't
you.
at full power.
Barring my Space Marines, I could not have asked for better.
To each of us falls a task.
Don't tell the Custodes
and
that.
all the Emperor requires of us Guardsmen is that we stand the line and we die fighting. It is what we do best.
We die standing. One of the coolest lines in the whole game. And it represents the Imperial Guard, especially like the faction he's a part of, the regiment, the Cadian. The Cadian regiment isn't just a... I didn't know this at the time. I didn't know anything about 40k, but, I learned this later on. The Cadian regiment, Cadia, is actually a place in the 40k setting. It's a famous planet. And the Imperial Guard stationed there are, some of the best in the entire Imperial Red Empire, in the Imperium, sorry. I love just showing the Baneblade taking on a demon. Really an appropriate symbolism, like of the Imperial Steel taking on, a demonic force. And you'll see this thing, the Tomb, just completely obliterate its enemies with an energy beam. So yeah, it's interesting, the campaign where you sort of go from fighting orcs and chaos in this campaign, and then fighting, back and forth. They're both together. Switch between Imperial Guard, Eldar, and you're fighting these two. And then at the last moment, when you're holding your ground, presumably on harder difficulties, you're still holding out against, wave after wave of Orc and Chaos Space Marine, desperately trying to keep this Titan safe and fixed. Then all of a sudden, these freaking monstrosities just show up and are like, "Hello, we're the Necrons, and we're about to ruin your day." And yeah, I didn't know what the heck the Necrons were. I don't know if how long ago the Necrons were established in 40k, so I have no idea if this, when Result introduced them as they were becoming popular, as they were being established, as they were popular, or if this was already years after the fact. But oh yeah, the Cadian is an actual famous place, and the Imperial Guard are, the soldiers from there are famous for being some of the best. So there's actually a motto, Cadia stands, and it's basically because they're some of the most determined and most stubborn of the Imperial Guard. And the fact that in this campaign, they used sort of like that mentality to represent them. I think that's obviously the idea that they are meant to be a Cadian regiment doesn't necessarily translate into gameplay terms, especially if nothing else, because the basic troops you get at the start of every mission, without giving them any upgrades, like, they break very easily. and based on what I know about the regiments, again, they're flawed. They're still human, but they if they broke, it would be from dying, not from lack of morale. But again, that's presumption. I don't really know that for a fact. And regardless, so that was the Imperial Guard campaign, and hopefully you'll join me for the next one where I'll go back and do the Eldar version of the previous mission, and then finish it off with the Eldar final mission. And then we'll probably move on to Disorder. So, hope to see you all there. Take care, everybody.